My name is Jillian Perrick, and I'm a lover of all things orange chocolate. Think One Tree Hill is way better than the OC. And as a person who stutters, I hope to one day inspire women with invisible disabilities to overcome their limiting beliefs and start the business of their dreams, just like I did. I'm a mindset coach specializing in imposter syndrome, helping women beat their inner imposter using neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, and time techniques. And this is the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. This podcast is for you if you're an entrepreneurial woman trying to navigate the online space with a lot of passion and a lot of uncertainty. If you feel like your ideas are unoriginal, that your message isn't necessary or important, or like you're a complete and total fraud, then you've come to the right place. This podcast will take you from imposter to empowered with ninja-like brain hacks, easy to implement strategies, and uplifting real talk to make you feel like everything you want is in reach. Let's get started, girlfriend. Hey, everybody. Hugo and I just got home from an amazing walk, and I had a thought, and I really wanted to share this with you. And I didn't have time to go to my laptop or whatever, but I really wanted to share because I know that this will be a great podcast episode. And I encourage you, if you ever get a hit of inspired thought, to write it down or to speak it into existence or start taking action on it right away, because those inspired actions come from when you are letting them happen, come from when you aren't trying to overanalyze or overthink the situation. I think I've talked about this on a podcast episode before, but we have certain brain waves, and these brain waves are actually either conducive or non-conducive to our patterns of thought. So in high beta, we are thinking. We are analyzing, we are overanalyzing, we are doing all this critical thinking, and it doesn't really leave any room for inspired thought. That's why when you're really stressed, when you're going, when you're not taking the time to meditate, not taking the time for yourself, not even taking a second to just sit down and not be consuming the internet or consuming TV or whatever, that is why you have no creativity. That is why you're having a really hard time thinking of ideas or doing your content or what have you. And if you're extremely burnt out from doing all of the things, you may be taking the time to rest and relax, but your brain is still going in high beta because it's so used to doing that, okay? So we talk about the emotional quota. I've talked about that before, in which the way that your physical self reacts to emotion. So if you are somebody who is always really high anxiety, as you start doing the work on yourself, as you start working through limiting beliefs and negative emotions and all that jazz, you may experience not hitting your emotional quota because your physical body is so used to feeling anxious. It's so used to that, hitting that high of whatever emotion you're used to feeling. And so once you start doing the work, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be feeling a certain way. And it can feel kind of off. So if you are like, you know what, I take the time to relax, Jill, but I still have no creativity, you potentially could be brain burnt out. You could be burnt out from doing all the things, and then you take a couple seconds to slow down. You're like, okay, why am I not getting inspiration? And that's why it's so important to do your routines. In my group program, Keep Your Vibe High, it's my group program that is evergreen. It's just going to keep going. It's so low tier. It's $297 a month, but you get amazing support in there. So if you're interested in that, go to the link in the show notes and go to that because it's amazing. Or you can DM me on Instagram at your coach Jill. But in that program, we have morning and evening routines. And the reason why we want to be consistent with these routines is because it is so important for you to consistently leave space, consistently leave time, because then we bring your brain back down to that beta brainwave, that alpha and beta brainwave, in which these are the more creativity inducing, slowing down and really leaving room for that inspired thought, because then the universe can communicate with you, then you can communicate with you, because we all have an innate knowing, we all have things inside of us that we know. And that's why I love coaching, because it's never about me teaching anybody anything. It's always about me pulling an answer out of you that you already have. So we have these brain waves in terms of the way that we function. So if you are finding you don't have any creativity, you're just not doing the things that you really want to do, I really want to inspire you to take that time for yourself, to leave room for conscious thought and for consciousness, and just to leave space for you to breathe. Speaking of breathing, I got certified in breathwork, and if you join Keep Your Vibe High, I actually am going to be doing free sessions for that. So yeah, that's a really great group program. I didn't mean to advertise that, but it's so good, so I had to tell you guys. But anyways, so the whole reason why I'm starting this podcast, the whole reason why I came to this podcast is because I was listening to a podcast as I was walking the Dukes man, and it occurred to me in terms of your subconscious mind will only allow what you allow. Now, what does that mean? So I have had clients who have been like, I want to sign 15 people for my one-to-one coaching program, or I want to sign 30 people for this or that, what have you. And even though I always am inspired by my clients, even though I'm always so encouraging and supportive, what will your subconscious mind allow? Will your time, will your resources, will they allow for this abundance to come through this channel? For example, I work a full-time job. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it before. I work full-time. Yes. I work full-time, blah, 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 whatever. But in the beginning, I would be trying to manifest all these clients. I'd be like, okay, so I can do 8 NLP sessions a week, and I can do this, and this. But subconsciously, I was stopping myself. And that's because I knew that I had limited time in terms of my resources. I knew subconsciously that I wouldn't be able to handle 8 NLP sessions a fucking week. That's just impossible. But because I had my eye on the money, instead of really thinking, okay, so I really want this goal, but I wasn't thinking about, is there anything that is incongruent in me within this goal? Is there anything that this goal will not allow me to have? More time, time to breathe and eat and spend time with my partner and whatever. That is a subconscious block that I may not have uncovered if I didn't have the tools that I do. And this may be blocking your manifestation of your goal. This may be stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve because you're not looking at all of the factors. You're just thinking about the goal. You're just thinking, I want to achieve this. And because it's so specific, you're like, okay, I want to achieve. So let's take, for example, the client who wanted 15 one-on-one clients. It was ambitious, and it was definitely something that's possible, but did she really want it? And the question is, fuck no. The question is, it would be 15 hours of one-to-one coaching calls a week, which you think doesn't sound like a lot because we work 30 to 40 hours a week in full-time jobs, but coaching calls are really draining, and coaching calls take preparation, they take time. You also want to leave time for creating your content and doing things on the back end for your business, so you have a business, so you have content, etc. But nobody thinks about this. You just think about the outcome, and you just think, this is just the outcome that I want. I'm going to do anything to get there. But you may be having these subconscious blocks that are actually stopping you from getting that outcome. And then you get frustrated, and then you feel this resistance. And the resistance can actually be an indicator that there is a subconscious block. So if you have a goal and there's a lot of resistance around it, there's a couple of things that could exist here. One, you could have subconscious beliefs or even conscious ones that are stopping you. So let's say I want to sign 15 one-on-one clients next month. I may have the subconscious limiting belief of, I don't know enough people to sign that many people, or I'm not good enough to sign that many one-on-one clients. Okay, so that's an example. The second thing could be, you could be having a subconscious block because it is not conducive to you or to your highest good. 15 hours a week of one-to-one coaching sounds terrible. When I have like 3 or 4 client calls a week, I'm done. I am good because it takes a lot out of me. It's a lot of emotional energy. It's a lot of mental energy. So it is not for my highest good to have 15 one-on-one clients. But if I was just focused on making that money, I would be frustrated with myself because I'd be like, why isn't this goal happening? I guess I can't achieve it, blah, blah, blah. When really I need to look internally and look at the beliefs and the stories that I am telling myself, as well as checking if there is congruence with my resources, with my values, with my own like belief system. Checking for congruence. And this is something that you are missing in your goal setting, is the congruence with, is this for my highest good? Is this for the good of everybody around me? So would 15 hours of one-to-one calls be good for my partner? Probably not, because he wouldn't be able to like make any noise at all, because we have like a big house, I would say. It's like relatively big. However, you can hear everything. So he would have to be quiet. We wouldn't be able to spend time together. I'd be in my office for all of those hours. It's just like not realistic, right? So is it conducive for your life? Is it conducive for the people around you? Because obviously that comes into play. Like you could be thinking, oh, like who gives a fuck what your partner thinks about your coaching business, but it's like, but is it conducive for me in my relationship with him to be on the phone 15 hours a week? Probably not, because relationships are important to me. His relationship with me is important to me. So I wouldn't want to throw in all these hours of coaching and reach my goal, but it actually would lead me farther away from the life that I want. Is this making sense? So that could be your problem in terms of reaching the goals that you want to reach. Is it really congruent with your lifestyle, with your beliefs, with your values? And if it's not, can you make it that way? Can you release some limiting beliefs? Can you do some work around it? Or can you maybe work on your goal so it is more conducive to your life and to what you really want to achieve? Also, thinking about the bigger picture. Whenever I set any goal, I'm always thinking about the bigger picture. Even if it's like, okay, I'm setting a goal for the next 30 days, that goal is still in congruence with my 5-year plan, with my 10-year plan. I'm always looking ahead in terms of how is this going to get me to where I need to be, and then clearing anything that is telling me that I can't have that. So I hope that you enjoyed this little impromptu episode. Again, when inspiration hits, really make sure you speak to it. You do it. I'm doing this on my phone. Hugo is with me. I'm on the couch. We just got home from a walk, and I just had to tell you about this. And if you are interested in mindset work and manifestation and inner child and higher self and all that amazing stuff, Keep Your Vibe High is my signature group program. It is an evergreen group program. We meet once a month, and you have a resource vault full of amazing resources like hypnosis tracks, EFT tapping sequences, meditations, NLP techniques, amazing things, and it is only $297 US a month. So your membership would start off with 4 months, and then after that, you can choose to continue or choose to not, but it is an evergreen group program, and I'm so excited to offer it and have you in there. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. If you want to check that out, you can go to my show notes and go to the link in my show notes there, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at your coach Jill, and we can chat about it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast with me, Jillian Perrick. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram story. And don't forget to tag me at your coach Jill. Of course, I'd love for you to rate the podcast 5 stars and leave a review. And if you screenshot your review and send it to me at your coach Jill on Instagram, I'll send you a free gift. At the very least, make sure you follow me on Instagram, again at your coach Jill, for tons of free content, strategies, and inspo. See you next time.